Hi, it's Benny here from Fluent in 3 Months, the world's favourite language learning blog. Are you learning English and want to start real conversations with native English speakers? Or perhaps you're learning another language and would like to know how you can start talking to native speakers? Then you're in the right place. These phrases include starting the conversation, elaborating on a topic, inviting a longer conversation, changing the topic, and closing the conversation. Don't forget to check out the supporting article with embedded videos to read more about these steps. When you're about to start talking to someone one-on-one, you'll find it helpful to think about each phrase, and you can use the examples I give to keep the conversation flowing. Phase 1 is starting the conversation. And the best way to do that is to ask a question that isn't too personal. Here are some examples of polite questions that you can translate and use in your target language to help get things going. Excuse me, do you have the time? Or, do you know what time it is? Hi, is this seat taken? If the answer is no, then you can follow up with, do you mind if I sit here? It's even better to start a conversation by noticing something about the other person and commenting on it in a nice way. And here are some examples. That's a really nice hat, jacket, or whatever. Could I ask where you got it? That's a cool looking phone. Is it easy to use? If you aren't learning English, then translate some of these example expressions into your target language so you'll have go-to phrases to use that'll get you speaking in your target language as soon as possible. Back to the conversation, and now that you've started talking, you can move on to phase 2, where you'll need to elaborate on the established topic and continue talking. If they answered your question, you can ask 1 or 2 follow-up questions to get more details, such as, is that store near here? Was it good value? Try to avoid asking for specific monetary amounts of items, like how much did it cost, as that can be considered rude in many cultures. Next, provide some context as to why you asked them the question in the first place. Here are some examples. The reason I asked is because I've been thinking about replacing my phone. I've been looking for a hat like that to give to my friend. And, as always, if someone is being helpful, don't forget to thank them. Thanks for the suggestion. Or, I appreciate the information. You can usually tell when a person is losing interest in a conversation. If you reach that point, then excuse yourself and be on your way. However, if you feel like the person may be receptive to a longer conversation, then move on to phase 3 and ask more questions. This is your chance to talk a bit more and get to know them better. Here are some general questions you can ask to keep the conversation going. Are you from this area? What brings you here today? Each of these questions can be used to extend the conversation and learn more about the other person. The idea here is to find common points of interest. When they mention something that relates to you and your life, this gives you an opportunity to explore that topic more fully. When your conversation arrives at a topic that you're comfortable speaking about in your target language, then this is your chance to discuss it in more depth. This is phase 4, where you explore a topic further. As an example, let's say that you discovered your conversation partner has a cat. You have a cat too. Time to show some photos of your cat. Or, if the person mentions that they're vegetarian, and you happen to be vegetarian too, now you have something in common. Why not ask about their favorite vegetarian recipes? Here are some sentences and phrases that may come in handy to dive in deeper with the topic. Really, I'm a vegetarian too. What made you decide to stop eating meat? You're kidding! I drive a motorcycle as well. What type of bike do you have? The idea here is to let them know you share a common interest. Then ask them to share more details. Remember to talk about the other person more than yourself. For example, instead of going off on a long tangent about your favorite recipes, ask them for theirs. It shows that you are truly interested in getting to know them, and they will be more open to continuing the conversation. Phase 5 is all about asking for opinions. Everyone has an opinion on something, and many people like to share them with others. Here are some questions you can ask to get the other person's point of view on a situation or topic. Has that been your experience too? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Once people start sharing their opinions, you open up the door for a whole new area of conversation. Just be careful not to probe too far into sensitive topics such as politics or religion. Sometimes a conversation can start to fade and you find things are winding down. This is where phase 6 comes in and you change the subject. So when you sense your conversation partner is losing interest in talking about your impressive collection of snow globes, it's probably time to change the topic. Here are some ways you can switch to other topics. That reminds me. Oh hey, did you hear that? Or if you want to make a more abrupt change, you could just say it directly with, okay, I'm going to change the topic now. But I was wondering, after about 10 or 15 minutes, it's worth checking that your conversation partner wants to continue talking. This is phase 7, get confirmation. You'll want to confirm that they want to be in the conversation, so you can be sure they aren't just being polite. Here are some questions you can ask to see if it's possible to maintain a longer talk. I'm not keeping you from something, am I? I just realized you're probably in the middle of something. Do you have time to chat? These sorts of expressions show that you are being considerate of your conversation partner's needs. Part of being a good conversationalist is knowing when to stop talking. This is the final phase. When the conversation ends, find a way for them to get in touch with you in future. If you feel like they might want to chat again, you can give them an opportunity with some of these phrases. Well, if you ever want to chat again, I'm usually here every Monday afternoon. Feel free to call me if you want to hang out. Here, I'll give you my number. Do you use Instagram or Twitter? And remember to make them feel appreciated too. I really enjoyed our chat. Thanks so much. So, those are the 8 phrases of starting a conversation as a language learner. I hope this inspires you to get speaking with native speakers in your target language. If you want more examples to help you get speaking with someone, then check out the article I wrote to go with this video. You'll find a link to the article in the description and as a floaty window beside me. In the next video, I'll be getting specific with conversation starters for group interactions. So please, like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.